The grocery store, a familiar battleground, a place where the mundane meets the essential, where every aisle tells a story of survival and choice. You scan the shelves, a sense of dread settling in your stomach. The prices seem to rise with every visit, a silent scream echoing through the aisles. Milk, a staple, a necessity. But at what cost? Each carton represents more than just a beverage. It symbolizes the struggle of everyday life. The price tag screams a harsh truth about our times. The essentials of life are becoming increasingly out of reach. What was once a simple decision now requires careful consideration. What was once a given, a basic right, is now a luxury for many. Families are forced to make tough choices, often sacrificing nutrition for affordability. This isn't just about inflation. It's about a deeper systemic issue that affects us all. The rising costs are a symptom of a larger problem. It's about a system that has silently shifted beneath our feet, turning basic necessities into commodities, traded on Wall Street like stocks and bonds. The very items we rely on to live are now subject to the whims of the market. The impact is felt most by those who can least afford it. The silent scream of the milk carton is a cry for help, a plea for change in a world where the basics are becoming unattainable. But there is hope. Communities are coming together, finding ways to support each other. Food banks and local initiatives are stepping in to fill the gaps left by a broken system. The milk carton's silent scream is a reminder of our shared humanity. It calls us to action, to create a world where no one has to choose between hunger and survival. Remember the days of the 5-cent gallon of milk? It seems almost like a fairy tale now, a distant memory from a simpler time. But for many, it was a reality, a part of everyday life. It may sound like ancient history, but it wasn't that long ago. Just a few decades back, families could walk into their local grocery store and pick up a gallon of milk for just 5 cents. It was a time when the cost of living was much lower, and the value of money seemed to stretch further. Our grandparents tell tales of a time when a single income could support a family, and putting food on the table didn't require a second mortgage. They reminisce about family dinners, where everyone gathered around the table, sharing stories and laughter, without the stress of financial burdens looming overhead. Farming was undoubtedly harder then. The tools were rudimentary, and the labor was intense. Farmers worked from dawn till dusk, tending to their crops and livestock with dedication and perseverance. Yet despite the hardships, there was a sense of pride and fulfillment in their work. Yet despite advancements in technology and efficiency, the price of milk, like many staples, has steadily climbed. Today, we have automated milking machines, advanced irrigation systems, and genetically modified crops designed to increase yield. But these innovations haven't translated into lower prices for consumers. Why haven't those advancements translated into lower prices for consumers? The answer is multifaceted. It involves the rising costs of production, transportation, and distribution. It also includes the influence of corporate interests and political decisions that shape the agricultural industry. The answer lies in the complex web we've woven, a system where food is no longer just nourishment but a financial instrument. Commodities like milk are traded on global markets, their prices influenced by speculators and investors. This financialization of food has created a disconnect between the farm and the dinner table, making it harder for families to afford basic necessities. The shift began in the Roaring '20s. Wall Street, with its insatiable appetite for profit, saw an opportunity in the most basic human needs. They transformed necessities like food into commodities, traded on exchanges alongside oil and gold. This created a disconnect between the tangible value of food and its worth in the abstract world of finance. Milk, once a symbol of sustenance, became a line on a spreadsheet, its price subject to the whims of speculation and global market forces. This commodification of essentials gives rise to the shareholder dilemma. Publicly traded companies, beholden to their investors, are under constant pressure to increase profits. This relentless pursuit of growth often comes at the expense of the very people who rely on these essential goods. The system incentivizes rising prices, creating a vicious cycle where affordability is sacrificed at the altar of shareholder value. Section 5. Empty promises on a full plate. Politicians, eager for votes, promise to lower the cost of living. They point fingers at inflation, at global markets, at a myriad of external factors. But the truth is more complicated. Our economic system is built upon a foundation of continuous growth. Erasing national debt, often touted as a solution, would have catastrophic consequences. Why? Because that debt is intricately linked to investments and savings, forming the bedrock of our financial system. Section 6, Across the Pond. A glimpse of a different system. Across the Atlantic, countries like the United Kingdom have experimented with alternative models, attempting to create more equitable systems. They've implemented price controls, subsidies, and social safety nets to ensure essential goods remain affordable. However, these efforts often face resistance, particularly from those who benefit most from the current system. The wealthy, with the means to relocate, often seek out countries that prioritize profit over people, perpetuating the cycle. Section 7, The Price of Convenience, Our Addiction to Cheap. We, the consumers, are not blameless in this equation. Our insatiable desire for convenience, for cheap and readily available products, fuels this system. We've become addicted to the low prices that come at a hidden cost. The exploitation of labor, the degradation of our environment, and the erosion of our communities. The true cost of that gallon of milk is masked by a complex web of subsidies and externalities. Section 8, The Weight of Our Choices, A Global Perspective. This isn't just an American problem, it's a global one. The commodification of essentials has created a world where access to food, water, and shelter is increasingly determined by wealth and privilege. From the sprawling slums of Mumbai to the food deserts of rural America, the consequences are strikingly similar. A growing disparity between the haves and the have-nots. Section 9. Demand change, not just cheaper milk. The next time you find yourself staring at that expensive carton of milk, remember, it's not just a price tag you're looking at. It's a reflection of a much larger issue that affects us all. The price of milk is a small window into the complexities of our food system, a system that often prioritizes profit over people and the planet. It's a symbol of a system that needs to change. The high cost of milk is not just about the money coming out of your pocket. It's about the cost to our farmers, our environment, and our communities. When we demand cheaper milk without questioning the system, we inadvertently support practices that may be harmful in the long run. Demand transparency from your elected officials. Ask them how they are supporting local farmers and sustainable practices. Are they ensuring that the subsidies and policies in place are fair and beneficial to those who work tirelessly to provide us with food? Hold them accountable for the decisions that impact our food system. Question the true cost of cheap products. What corners are being cut to bring you that lower price? Is it the quality of the product, the wages of the workers, or the health of our environment that is being compromised? Cheap products often come with hidden costs that we all end up paying in one way or another. Support sustainable and equitable alternatives. Choose to buy from local farmers markets and organic grocery stores. These choices may seem small, but they collectively make a significant impact. By supporting these alternatives, you are investing in a system that values fairness, sustainability, and the well-being of all stakeholders. The power to change the system rests in our collective hands, the hands that feed the world, the hands that hold the power to demand better. Together we can create a food system that is just, sustainable, and equitable for everyone. Let's not just demand cheaper milk. Let's demand a better future for all.